Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go ahead and get into what is now Tropical Storm Helene with current winds of 46 mile an hour and a low pressure of 1,000 millibars. Now, this is expected to turn into a hurricane as soon as tomorrow morning and impact much of Cuba and Central America, and is actually going to strengthen into a Category 3 as we head into Thursday morning and impact the Big Bend of Florida as we head into the evening of the 26th, as hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings, and all that's already been issued along the coast of northwest Florida and parts of western Florida as well. Now, as we take a look at the wording as of 11 o'clock this morning, now the video will probably be uploaded by right around 5 o'clock, which there'll be another update by that time, so make sure you follow my X and Facebook pages. I'll put the latest update on there as well. Links will be in the description down below, by the way. We can see Helene's forecasted to intensify, of course, near hurricane strength as it reaches the far northern Caribbean Sea as early as Wednesday. It's currently a tropical storm. And of course, here's the arrival time. Keep in mind, it will be doing the Weeble Wobble effect or the windshield wiper effect, as Reed Timmer likes to say, because it can either go make a left turn or a further right turn, still to be determined, as it's right down there near Cuba. But regardless, it's going to be causing a lot of heavy rainfall and a lot of peak surge, right around 10 to 15 feet over here by the Big Bend, and of course, less peak surge the further south and the further northwest you go. Now, of course, like I said earlier, don't matter really where you are, because this hurricane's obviously going to cause a lot of problems, obviously. It's going to be bringing a lot of rainfall with it as well. Well-needed rainfall to much of the eastern part of the country, especially up here in the Ohio Valley, as it's supposed to be moving up there as soon as this weekend, so we definitely need the rain up here in southern Indiana. I'm sure y'all want to see the future track of this. Let's go and take a look at that, by the way. Take a look at the HWRF. Now, we do have the HMON model, but to save time, we're going to take a look at one model. We also have John out there. That's over here by western Mexico. We'll take a look at that one as well. So we can see we have Tropical Storm Helene out there. We can see as we head into tomorrow night, it's supposed to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane and then get Category 3 strength or higher as we head into Thursday, then make a landfall by Thursday evening. Now, keep in mind the timing can be off by a little bit, can make landfall earlier or later. It just depends how fast this hurricane actually goes. And once it makes landfall, will obviously weaken down, and that's going to be moving up into the Ohio Valley, where we're going to be getting in on well-needed rain here. Although we did get in on an inch of rainfall here, finally, after we've been doing with such a dry summer. It's actually one for the record books, so definitely need the rain here. But of course, y'all probably wondering, if you're new to Florida and much of the coast down here by the Gulf, of what to do. Now, storm teachers will be down there if you are evacuating, so go follow these guys if you want to know what's going on back at home. But here's what you can do if you're new to Florida and the Gulf Coast. Know your area, make that plan. Prepare the emergency kit, use your common sense, and you got to prepare your home for this major hurricane potentially. And of course, you got FEMA. Here's that famous quote by Ronald Reagan. Our most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and we're here to help." It's pretty terrifying. And it's darn true, as Kurt Angle always says. So that is Tropical Storm Helene, as it's supposed to be gaining strength over the Gulf and making impacts to the Big Bend of Florida as soon as Thursday. So make sure you prepare for what could be a pretty intense hurricane soon. Now, if Tropical Storm Helene does strengthen into a Category 4, it will join the ranks of these 8 major hurricanes within the past 7 years. So definitely prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. And don't be like these people, as people in Florida are typically like this when they only have a Category 1 hurricane. Don't be like these people, although y'all are pretty used to it. But again, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, as Helene could turn into a major hurricane as soon as Wednesday evening. But now, this could weaken down significantly, though. We got to talk about that. And one of the reasons why it could potentially weaken, as you can see, we got a ridge down here in the southeastern part of the country, and we've got this little trough. This trough will play a role in weakening down this hurricane potentially. As you can see, we got Helene right here as soon as Thursday afternoon, making landfall by Thursday night. And then the trough's going to combine with that hurricane, weaken it down, and we're going to be getting in on well-needed rain here. So definitely make sure to follow your local meteorologist and the National Hurricane Center, as they will guide you in the right direction. Don't buy into the fear-mongering, as this could actually be a pretty significant hurricane, but then again, we've talked about this before, how we've had significant hurricanes weaken down into Category 1 strength and really not turn into much of anything. But like the old saying goes, prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. And I'm hoping for the best for y'all down in Florida, so hopefully y'all evacuate just in case this hurricane gets pretty bad. But now, let's go and take a look at any other tropical storms or hurricanes forming out there. We have this 40% chance, not much to really worry about. We have John. Down in southern and southwestern Mexico, we'll be getting impacted by Tropical Storm John. Be causing a lot of rainfall and a lot of high winds and just a lot of problems. So be aware of this if you live down there or you're heading down there, by the way. But other than that, we really do not have much going on out there. We have some chances out here by Hawaii, so make sure you're aware of these chances. Could be causing a lot of heavy rain and winds with those. But now let's go ahead and get into this day in weather history. Back almost 20 years ago, we had Hurricane Rita, formed from September 17th all the way to the 24th, killed about 7 people. Caused about $11.1 billion worth of damage, and that's in 2010 US dollars. Winds were at 180 mile an hour with a low pressure of 895 millibars. Made landfall on this day in weather history. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this 40% chance just off the coast of Africa. Keep in mind this is the GFS model. It's typically the overhyped model. Goes all the way out 300 some hours out, about 16 days out to be exact. Now, as we can see, we got Helene out there, of course, making landfall by Thursday evening, causing a lot of problems to much of the East Coast, bringing flooding, high winds, and just a lot of storm surge to the Big Bend of Florida. Once we get past that, we got this 40% chance off the coast of Africa. Not expecting much from it. Expect that to just recurve and really just not turn into much of anything. So it's not really much to worry about out there. Now, early on this week, there was indication that there was going to be a tropical storm or hurricane down here by the Caribbean islands. Now it's not there anymore. That's why we say don't trust the GFS over 200 hours out, because anything can and will change. And one of the reasons why we're expecting that 40% chance to recurve is, well, take a look at the troughs and ridges. We can see Helene coming in, impacting much of the eastern part of the country, and we can see that 40% chance. Got a little trough right here, a low pressure system. It's going to interact with that, and a major trough is going to be starting to come through, and that's why it's going to recurve and go out to sea and become mainly a fish storm and not impact Bermuda or any of these islands down here. So really, after we get past Helene, there's not much to worry about out there, although the ocean temperatures are pretty hot for this time of year. Keep in mind, hurricane season lasts all the way through November, although this hurricane season has surprisingly been a slow year, which is a good thing. We don't want hurricane season to be too bad. So that's some good news, y'all. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of severe weather we got, since really severe weather is starting to wind down. We got a slight risk today, actually, mainly for high winds and a low wind threat for hail, and some tornadoes are going to be possible as well. So make sure you are aware of this today if you live down here from Kentucky on over into the West Virginia mountains, as there could be a few tornadoes possible later tonight with some high winds and some large hail. Other than that, really not much in the way of any sort of severe weather for the next week or so, so that's some good news. Now, 'cause this can still change between now and then, so keep that in mind. So now let's go ahead and get into what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. Now, we already know Helene. I beat the dead horse on this, but we got Helene coming through, bringing a lot of problems to much of the southeast and the upper Midwest later this week. And once we get past that, it's looking like we're going to remain in a little bit of a soggy pattern for much of the eastern part of the country. Parts of Canada is going to be getting in on some snowfall. Then after that, it's looking like we could be coming in on a major drying period for much of the central and western part of the country, while the northeast is going to be getting in a lot of heavy rainfall. Still remaining dry out west, with some flurries up here from Washington on over into Montana, on down into Wyoming and Idaho. It's looking like the Northwest could be getting in on some snowfall, so that's pretty interesting. Now, this is well over 200 hours out. Keep this in mind. And it's looking like a battle of the seasons is going to start to commence as we head towards the beginning week of October. See some severe weather up here in Minnesota, but again, I'll repeat myself, but it's looking like after Helene, soggy pattern out east, and once we get past that, it's looking like we could come in on a major drying period for much of the central and western part of the country, sort of soggy up here in the northeast. Then as we head towards the beginning week of October, some flurries are going to be possible in the parts of the northwest, and some severe weather could be occurring amongst the central part of the country as well as down here by the Tennessee Valley. And as we take a look at 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, we can see that much of the eastern part of the country is going to be above average, while the rest of the country is going to be well below average. This is because we got Helene moving through. 8 to 14 days, really the same story, although the northwest and northeast is going to be getting in on well above average precipitation. Northwest mainly due to some potential flurries and some snow going on up there, so that's exciting. As we take a look at the hazardous outlook for the next 8 to 14 days, valid from the 1st all the way to the 7th, we can see, of course, dealing with a lot of flooding down here in the southeast, down from Alabama down into Florida. And we're going to be drying out over here by Oklahoma. That's why if you saw in the thumbnail, but could be drying out drastically over here in the central and southwest part of the country. And as Lundberg says, if we could not have all 4 seasons of weather in 1 week, that would be great. Oh, and I did forget to mention the hurricane to-do list. If you live down here by Florida, of course, Floridians, you buy as much alcohol as possible, plan a hurricane party, right? It hits on a work and school day, make jokes about it, and then freak out when it actually occurs. Don't do all this, guys, but like I said earlier, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures, what we could expect since we've made it past the first day of fall, and we're actually 36 days away from Halloween, y'all, so get excited for Halloween. Now on to the temperatures, we can see it's going to be warming up drastically as we head into hump day, then it's going to start to cool down, warm up again. We're going to be in this little back and forth pattern as we enter the I don't know what to wear kind of season. It's going to be hot in the afternoons and cold at night. Then watch as we head into the beginning week of October. You can see some drastically cool air starting to stretch its way further down towards the south. That's why we're going to be coming in on the drying pattern. It's because that hot air is going to be getting out of here and we're going to be dealing with some cool temperatures. And that's why we're going to be dealing with some snow up here in the northwest as well. We're going to be in this sort of back and forth pattern all the way into the beginning week of October. We're going to be dealing with some frigid temperatures up here by Idaho soon. As we take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, valid from the 29th through the beginning of October, we can see much of the country is going to be near normal to above average. Next 8 to 14 days, really the same story, although we could be coming in on a drastic cool down here at the beginning parts of October, which I will actually have an October outlook video up possibly Thursday or tomorrow, depends. So make sure you stay tuned for that and subscribe so you don't never miss an upload, because at Hero One's Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. Now, if y'all are heading to the Ducktail Run up here in Gas City, Indiana, it's a big old car show, swap meet event going on from September 26th to the 29th. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, as we push this to Thursday, like I say, it's going to be in the 70s on Thursday into the low 80s. And then it's going to be cooling down if you're staying up there overnight. Then it's going to be in the 80s again on Friday. Looks like it's going to be a pretty cool ducktail run throughout the whole entire car show. So get out there and enjoy these nice temperatures. Now, as far as precip goes for the car show, it's looking like on Thursday it's going to be pretty nice. Some spotty showers could occur that day. Friday, pretty nice as well. Saturday, it's looking like it's going to be rained out, as well as on Sunday. So prepare accordingly. If you're going to be going out there, pack the umbrella. Just shield yourself from the rain if you're heading out there. If you want to brave the rain, then go ahead and do so. But as far as temperatures go, it's going to be pretty nice. But as far as being soggy, well, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty soggy on Saturday and on Sunday. So get out there and enjoy the ducktail run. It's up here in Gas City, up here in northeastern Indiana by Fort Wayne. And send me a car pictures if you want to on X and Facebook. I'd greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into the fall foliage outlook as of September 24th, 2024. We can see more fall foliage out there. We have some fall foliage down here in the Appalachian Mountains and parts of the Northeast. As far as tomorrow goes, looks like even more fall foliage up there in the Mountain West. As we head into the beginning weeks of October, even more fall foliage, starting to get some peak fall foliage down here in southern Indiana. We've already had some leaves fall. Noticed that on the way home today. So it's pretty exciting heading into spooky season, y'all. Hope you're all grabbing your pumpkin spice drinks and hot apple cider and watching those leaves fall and all spooky. Now, I know I've beaten the dead horse on the birdcast, but let's go and take a look at it again here on the 24th. 426 million birds supposed to be moving out tonight, less tomorrow night, and even more on the night of the 26th as Hurricane Helene is going to be making landfall that night. We can see 40 million birds are in flight currently. Take a look out here in Indiana. We have right around 1,625,000 birds moving out through the state of Indiana with the eastern wood pewee bird. I don't know if I saw that bird yet, but that's the bird that's currently in flight right now over here for the state of Indiana. It's a pretty bird. So if you have any bird pictures, send them over to my Facebook pages as well. Link description down below. So That's your forecast, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. Did make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, hit that subscribe button with bell notifications turned on so you never miss a forecast, because here at Winds Weather we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. So, sum up this video basically, watch out for Hurricane Helene if you live up there in northwestern Florida by the Big Bend. Now, keep in mind, this hurricane will do the weeble wobble effect. Might go further west, might go further east, or might go west. I'll be keeping y'all updated as this does turn into a major hurricane before landfall. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best, as this could weaken down significantly or strengthen. But again, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. As far as our weather outlook for the next couple of weeks goes, it's looking like after Helene moves through the Ohio Valley, it's looking like we could come in on a soggy pattern in the short term, but in the long term, could be coming back into a major drying pattern, unfortunately, with some potential snowfall up in the northwest. So that's some good news. And it's looking like we could be coming in on some very chilly temperatures here at the beginning weeks of October. So prepare for that as we move past the first day of fall. Now, as far as other hurricanes and tropical storms go, we just have John down there by Mexico. But after that, really not much to worry about. But I'll definitely keep y'all posted on X and Facebook. If anything does form, any other crazy weather patterns happen, I'll be on there reporting on that as well. So if you want to send me any weather pictures, make sure you do so. Send them over to my X and Facebook pages. I would greatly appreciate that, y'all. So hope y'all have a great day. Appreciate every one of y'all for watching. And until next time, never stop forecasting.